What's good, YouTube? So this is how I made $1,146 today. Not today, actually. That would be on Friday. Today is Saturday. Currently recording this now just because I've had a crazy long weekend. I did record a vlog yesterday, so that will be coming out. And I'm just in the process of editing that. We'll have a pretty good video out for you once it's all done and all polished and completed. But yeah, let's go into the trade. Pretty simple day for the most part. I mean, it wasn't the perfect setup, I will say. There was a couple corners cut, I guess you could say, but it played out very well. So this is, don't mind the indicators is a little bit messed up, off by a couple hours or something. Yeah, it starts at 4. But anyways, so this was London highs, London lows. We got like New York lows or some other lows from a couple days ago. I was going into the day pretty bearish, set on being bearish. I knew that if we wanted to go bullish, we would want to sweep this first. And if we weren't going to sweep this right away, I knew that it was just going to tank down. And we're also in a fair value gap. I don't typically use the hourly fair value gaps as my entry. I just had that in mind. So we're in a fair value gap downtrend. Not my typical way of looking at the market because I usually just looking for sweeps and reactions off of that. But I was open to a 15-minute sweep. So once right before market opened at about 8:25, we got a sweep to the upside on the 15-minute. Not at 8:30 though. So 8:30 we just started moving down. So we started moving down, and I wasn't really thinking to be bullish. So I wasn't taking this as we're sweeping the downside 15-minute and then we're gonna move up. I was really looking at going bearish just because of the structure of the market, how close these two lows were. This is a pretty big draw right here, and they're pretty close together. And I think there was also an SMT, if I can remember correctly. Stupid water bottle. Okay. I think there was an SMT. I can't remember what it was. I think it was more of a high time frame SMT. NASDAQ was a lot lower than ES was at the time on like the 4-hour window, something like that. I don't like recording these recaps the day after, but it's been a crazy week for me. So anyways, at this point, I'm like, it could go either way. I literally said that to my friend I was trading with. I wasn't like trading exactly with him, but he was trading at the same time. We were next to each other kind of. And I was like, it could literally go either way. My bias isn't too crazy. Like, I'm not like 100% set on shorts because low key, it's not a super solid bias day for me in my eyes at least. The setup was pretty good though. So I was like, it's more bearish than bullish in my eyes. So it could go either way. So I de-risked a little bit. Instead of risking 600, we went with, I think, 430 or something like that. So we could have made more if we're at full risk, but I just de-risked just slightly just because I didn't know. It was a bad week already. Price action was terrible. And we had this one good setup day. So after the move down, we got 5-minute break and then retrace, fair value gap right here and equilibrium. If we go over to ES, same thing. Can't really remember what the SMT was. There's some sort of SMT though. But we basically get the full setup, just using the 825 candle instead of market open for the 15-minute sweep because we just moved down right away. So sweep, break of structure, retrace into fair value gap, and then moving on to the 1 minute. We're just looking for a 1-minute break before entering. And I think there was like another 5 minutes. Oh no, we broke right away. Okay. Yeah, so then we used this for value gap on the 1 minute as well. Tapped into that, broke structure. And I was remembering it was a pretty big move down for like compared to the other candles. It was a big 1-minute candle. And I didn't really love the risk reward for take profit 1. So I was looking more for a 1-minute retrace before entering because this is a pretty big move down. It could definitely retrace into equilibrium or something like that, which we did. And I think I got filled right about here. I didn't set a limit order. I just, once it started moving up, It's where I was comfortable with the risk reward. I think it was about that roughly, if I can remember correctly. One thing I did wrong was I entered a little quick. Not I should have waited a little bit more. Instead of taking the second 1 minute high, I for my stop loss, I just went off of this. I went a little bit early, and I actually might have had my stop loss up here. Gosh, I hate doing recaps. No, it was definitely at the 1 minute high. So I usually like to have my stop loss at the second 1 minute high. I should have waited for one more down candle to put this in as a high because it's not a high yet until another down candle. I should have waited till about here. Yeah, so I should have waited till here to technically take the trade correctly. Not only did we fill 1 minute fair value gap to give even more confirmation, but now we have a high here, high here. That's my typical entry. Would have had a slightly better risk reward, nothing crazy, because it was more like this, roughly. It was 2.57 is what the risk reward was that I did make. I only had one contract, so we held all the way down. But basically, after entering, because we didn't wait for that second 1 minute high to get put in, so we had a little bit of drawdown here. And then afterwards, we just moved down pretty aggressively. Smack take profit 1. And then we smack take profit 2 right after. So since I only had one contract, I didn't take any partials here. We just held till take profit 2 because we were moving pretty quickly once we hit take profit 1, I just moved stop to break even. I was like, if it stops me out break even, I'm fine with that, but I really want to hold for take profit 2. I don't really want to have a less than 2 RR overall, 1.6 on the day. So I'm going to hold out. 2.5 is pretty good for me. That's about my average, maybe 2.3-ish is my average risk reward in my stats. So I held out for that. Turned out perfectly. The 430 that we risked came out till about 11:46. So pretty good day. Just scaling up, like best day yet with the added risk. So doing pretty good. Pretty happy about it. The day was over pretty quickly. Like I said, the bias wasn't very clear, so I wasn't like banking on a win today, I guess you could say. Plus, with the bad price action week, it could have gone either way. I would have been fine with the loss if that was the case. I already had that in my mind when entering. I was already prepared for that. But we did smack on the day. Felt pretty good because we had 2 losses this week. They were de-risked, kind of. So we made out pretty well in the week. I think we up 850 roughly on the week. So pretty solid. Could have been a lot better if price action was better this week, since we only took 1 win and 2 losses, so not the best. But I mean, we made out pretty well. So that's it for the recap. I did want to talk about one thing that was on my mind. So with all of the TGR stuff, if you don't know who TGR is, probably the biggest trading influencer at the moment. He's where I learned trading in the beginning, back in his boot camp. It's kind of like his OG trading course that he used to have back in the day. He still has it uploaded, but that was kind of where I started with trading. And then from there, just learned more stuff. To a year and a half into trading or whatever, did a different kind of his updated model, and that's more of what I trade right now. I always loved his psychology. He was always a hard worker, and now all this like leaked exposure stuff came out, basically saying that he was asking asking his friends for money to trade with. He was scamming people on purpose. He was kind of like laughing at our faces after he charged us for courses, and he's using ChatGPT for it or something like that. There's a lot of allegations. And at first, I was kind of like getting me mad, I would say, but you definitely can't, as a trader, if you learn from TGR or not, definitely cannot get discouraged in trading just because of one person, even if it is the person who taught you. Because for me, I mean, people are saying his strategy's false. I've literally seen a guy, he said, the strategy, if you're trading an influencer strategy, it's not going to work, or some rant he was going on, and that is not the case. I have been making money in trading using his strategy. I've back tested over a year of data so far. It's all been profitable, very profitable, I will say. Even my live trade journal, it's been very profitable as well. There is no chance in my mind that I won't be profitable in the future using the strategy. Maybe there'll be tweaks and adjustments depending on market structure, but getting like your whole headspace messed up just because of one person, that's not how it should work. Trading is not based off of one person, it's based off of the markets, how it moves, and that's it. I mean, the markets don't give a crap about what happens with TJR, if he gets exposed, if he's actually a fake or not. I mean, it is pretty sad to see if it is all true. I'm taking it all lightly because it's just one person's word against another. Yes, they have proof or whatever they could say, but the truth is like half of it can be forged easily using AI these days. So who even knows for sure? And I mean, it is pretty sad if it's true. Um, Getting taught that in the boot camp, and his mentality stuff, if it was all a lie, and all the work that he said he put in, if it was all a lie, that is pretty sad. But it is not changing my opinion on trading, and it is not stopping me from making money with trading. That is for sure. I'm not letting that in my head, and neither should you guys. No one should really let one person dictate how they're going to make their money, how they're going to live their lives, even if it's someone who you could say is above you. Just like he even said in the boot camp that you shouldn't, it's your life, you can control it, you shouldn't care about anyone else's opinion. That's the same thing. Even if someone above you fails, doesn't matter. We should, as traders, we learn to not trade emotionally. Well, we shouldn't be worrying about strategies emotionally. We shouldn't be obsessing over like drama or information on social media. That's just another thing to get in our head. And for me, I've seen the proof. I've seen some of the rewards already of trading and all the work I put in, and no person getting exposed can like stop me from that. Even if people want me to question it or whatever, maybe people have something against him. I mean, it's not my part to say. I'm just trying to stay out of it more so, and I'm not letting it dictate my trading. That's for sure. So that's all I just had to say. Just take it with a grain of salt at this point. Maybe TJR will come out with something. Who knows what happens, but it should not overrule your trading. It should not overrule your plan to make money, your drive, your focus, your discipline. It shouldn't do that. But that's it for today, guys. How I made $1,146 today day trading. We'll catch you in the next one. The vlog will be out very shortly, and it'll be a very good video, so stay tuned for that. Have a good day.